Hello, everybody. It's Chris Smith at the YNTAAY Minis, and today I'm here to review the movie version of The Prom, the hit Broadway musical, which I saw right before it closed in August 2019. And boy, am I glad I did, because just like 7 months later, everything started closing down, including Broadway. And so the only thing that's really been getting me through 2020 during this horrible pandemic is knowing that Ryan Murphy's version of The Prom was hitting Netflix. Now, I am a member of a Facebook group dedicated to the Prom fans, and a lot of people were concerned and a bit upset that the original cast isn't in the movie. So which usually happens with movie versions of Broadway shows. But we do have a very impressive cast. You have Meryl Streep as Dee Dee Allen, and I love these little individual poster things that they made. And I always like to print out the pictures and hold them up because that's how we did it in the olden days on talk shows. Remember, they had them glued to a little piece of cardboard and they would hold them up. So James Corden is in it as Barry, and Andrew Rannells is Trent Oliver, and Nicole Kidman is Angie Dickinson. Now that's not Angie Dickinson of Policewoman fame, and I've never quite understood why the character is named Angie Dickinson, because they just call her Angie. I don't believe anywhere in the script they ever mention her last name. I think it's one of those writer things where the writers are like, let's just call her Angie Dickinson, and laugh every time they read it. And I mean, it's never brought up. It's not brought up in the movie version. You have Keegan-Michael Key as the principal. You have, impressive cast. You have Kerry Washington as Mrs. Green, whose daughter is Alyssa Green, played by Ariana DeBose, and she is secretly involved with Emma, this young girl at the heart of our story, played by Joellen Pellman, and she just wants to take her girlfriend to the high school prom. Well, the PTA denies it, and they decide to cancel the whole prom rather than just deny this one girl. They're just not going to have a prom at all, which causes controversy. And this down on their luck group of Broadway actors who have gotten bad reviews from a show called Eleanor, the musical about Eleanor Roosevelt. It closes on opening night, and they're called narcissists. And so they decide to find a cause to get behind that will sort of boost their likability. So they decide to come to this small Indiana town. There they are at the after party of the show that flops. And they come to the PTA meeting, and they decide to support this young lesbian girl, and wackiness ensues, and they make things worse. So that's what the show is about, the Broadway show and the movie. And I was a little nervous about this casting, because I'm like, oh, Beth Level in the Broadway show is so good as Dee Dee Allen, and even though Meryl Streep is in everything and is, I mean, who's going to complain about Meryl Streep? But I'm like, can Meryl Streep hit those belty notes? I always thought she had a nice voice, a lovely voice, but she's no Beth level. But I don't know if they use special effects, or maybe Meryl could hit those notes. But I was rather pleased with her singing in this. I didn't mind her as a beltress. It worked for me. Okay, here's some of the cast, and here they are at the prom, not to give anything away. Now, a lot of people had complained that some of the marketing, or even some of the movie, focuses more on the older characters than the young characters, the couple. But I think everybody got a chance to shine. But some of the marketing did focus on the stars. Here is the back of a Variety magazine, and you'll notice it's the 6 big stars in it. Oh, and I should say that Kevin Chamberlain of Broadway's Seussical, the musical, is also in it. He was originally supposed to be played in the movie by Awkwafina, that actress, the Asian actress, and it's not very much of a role. Sheldon is the role, and he's like their agent or something like that. Well, anyway, um, it's I mean it's a fine role, but Awkwafina didn't do the role, and so then they went with Kevin Chamberlain. The two would not show up at the same casting sessions, believe me, but it worked out fine. And here's another ad poster that just features the young couple, Emma and Alyssa. So, you know, it is marketing for everybody. Now, the Prom, the Broadway version, is one of my all-time favorite musicals. And here is Caitlin Kinnunen, who played Emma on Broadway. And the tour will start up, I don't think it had ever even gone into rehearsals before the pandemic, but it was supposed to start this fall, I think, in the fall of 2020. And so when the world is able to have live theater again, the Prom tour will get underway. But until then, I'm very excited that we have this Netflix movie because it is it really holds up to what the Broadway show is. So if you love the Broadway show, nobody's taking that from you. It still exists. They both live in the same, I mean, they both exist. You can watch the Netflix version. You can enjoy the Broadway cast recording, which I do. I just love it. And now I must say that the movie is directed by Ryan Murphy of American Horror Story and Nip Tuck and Glee and all that. And he signed like $1 billion trillion deal with Netflix, don't quote me, to bring them all sorts of content. And this is one of the things he brought him. He did Hollywood earlier this year, which was excellent. He did Ratchet, about Nurse Ratched, and The Prom is another one of his big things. And yes, the screenplay is by Chad Beguelin and Bob Martin, and it's based on The Prom by Chad, Bob Martin, and Matthew Sklar, and with an original concept by Jack Viertel. The music is by Matthew Sklar, and the lyrics, well, the lyrics thing got cut off. But anyway, I think it was by Matthew and Chad. Yes, and the cinematography of this movie is by Matthew Labatique, who often came. He's a great cinematographer. He often came to the place where I work, which I won't say where, so you can't come and kill me. But yes, so the movie has been in theaters for the last week. Started December 4th, and it was playing. If you can find a theater that's open, it probably was playing there. And they were also doing drive-ins. Now, that's because this year, I think if you at least play at a drive-in movie theater for 1 week, then you can be eligible for an Academy Award nomination. And The Prom does feature 2 new songs in the closing credits: Wear Your Crown and Simply Love. Wear Your Crown is like a big girl power anthem sung by Ariana DeBose, Joellen Pellman, Kerry Washington, Nicole Kidman, and Meryl Streep. And Simply Love is a sweet little song sung by James Corden. Now, a lot of people I had read in reviews, like fan reviews, that they thought that James Corden was playing the role of Barry very stereotypically, and that, you know, he's not a gay actor, but he's playing a gay character. In fact, his character says, "I'm as gay as a bucket of wigs," which I think is a great line. And I didn't think that he overplayed it by any means. Oh, hold on. Blackie wants to say hello. Oh, I'm sorry, Blackie Humphrey. This is my dog, Blackie Humphrey, Hector Angel Godfrey Gladstone III. And he slept through most of the prom. But in his defense, I started it last night at midnight on Netflix, right when it was available for streaming, because I couldn't wait any longer. And some people on the East Coast, I know that they were going to watch it at 3 a.m. their time because they couldn't wait any longer. So, and I must say, I took notes during, I'm going to watch it again probably later tonight. The opening number, and I'll try not to give any spoilers away, but the opening number is flashy and colorful. But at the end, there's a line where they say, in the original, they're singing about how they're going to go and help this girl. And, they're so appalled that she's being mistreated because she's a lesbian and she can't go to her prom. And then the last line of the song in the Broadway version is, now let's go help that dyke. Which is the joke. They're so narcissistic and out of touch that they still refer to her as a dyke, and it's like already they're missing the point of helping this girl who's being discriminated against by saying something like that. So in the movie version, it's changed to, now let's go start a fight, which then I was like, I'm worried. Are they going to cut out anything that's edgy and wrong just because it's on Netflix? But it was pretty true to the original story. So that was just one little thing that jumped out at me. And I was, after Meryl's first big number, I said, did they use special effects on Meryl's voice? Like I said, I've always thought she had a beautiful little lovely voice. Not little, but it wasn't belty, but she belts in this. So I want to know what the secret is. Dance With You is very sweet and romantic, the love duet. There's a monster truck rally. That's fun. What else? Mary Kay Place is in it. From Mary Hartman, and Tales of the City, and so many things. She plays Emma's grandmother, and Emma's grandmother's only mentioned in the Broadway version, but she's there. Now, Kerry Washington's role as Mrs. Green is much meatier than Mrs. Green's role is in the stage version. So, as it would need to be if you're going to get an actress of Kerry Washington's, caliber. Now, Nicole Kidman is very lovely, like I said, as Angie Dickinson. And she has a lot of zazz, and that number's fun, where she teaches Emma to have zazz and change her shaking hands into jazz hands. The Ladies Improving is very good. At the hour 25 minute mark, I was starting to get tired, and I said, "Is this movie a little long, or is it just 1:45 a.m.?" or both? Maybe it is a little long. It could have been edited, just maybe trim off 10 minutes, because I think it clocks in at 2 hours and 10 minutes long. But I thought it was very good. Love Thy Neighbor, the number in the mall with Andrew Rannells and the cast of Godspell as his backup, where he's shaming all the kids for their treatment of this girl and how they're cherry picking the rules from the Bible. I thought that was a really good number. Wait till y'all see it. Dancing in front of J.C. Penney, and I don't know what mall they filmed in, but they were all finished with filming except for 2 days of just B footage stuff, and when the pandemic hit and shut down everything, so they had finished with all the main cast. I made a note. It said the filming began December 11th in Los Angeles. Oh, isn't that funny? And then it came out December 11th on Netflix. That's marvelous. And then on March 12th, everything shut down, as you all know. and then production resumed again on July 23rd, 2020. So that's very good that they were able to finish that. When you think about it, shut down in March and then return in July, considering all that's going on in the world, that's not too bad. So bravo to Ryan Murphy and his production team that were able to get this back, and all the actors and crew and everything. Bravo. Because we need things like this in the world. Now, at the end of the movie, Tracy Ullman pops up. I really shouldn't tell you who she is. I didn't think we really needed her character. I was like, it's sort of, I don't want to say too much. I just didn't think we needed it, but you'll see when you get there and see if you agree. And I thought it felt a little tad preachy, just a little heavy-handed, just a little, in this version. I never felt that on the stage version, but in the movie, I'm like, boy, they're really beating it over our heads. But the big finale helps, and I thought that saves it all. So, sometimes you gotta preach a little bit, but I think the audience that's probably watching the prom doesn't need to be preached to about acceptance and not treating people the way that people are often treated. So, yeah, it's sort of like preaching to the choir. And it is really, in this version, it's really tied up in a big bow, everything. It felt a little more so than in the stage version, but we're not going to compare them because one is an adaptation and one is, you can get off the bed if you want. And one is, he stepped on Meryl's face. And one is the, is the stage. So you've got stage and screen. They're going to be different. So the two new songs are fine, like I said. And best of all, the glorious overture is there at the beginning and plays in the credits. And on Broadway, I just started to cry the minute that it started playing, because it's like dun 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 dun. But so it's just very exciting that it's there. Oh, and before I said I wasn't sure who did the lyrics, the music was by Matthew Sklar and the lyrics are by Chad Beguilin. Sorry, I mispronounced your name. And the book is by Bob Martin and Chad. So, so I think it is a very successful movie version. It's perhaps not as good as, say, Hairspray, but I would like to see them together. I think they'd make a great double feature. They're very happy and peppy. So, yes, I'm going to give the Prom movie one Blackie Humphrey up. Yeah, that's like a 1 thumbs up. Well, 2 thumbs up, really. Oh dear, he's getting upset. Okay, I'm going to take him out, y'all. And I do hope that you'll get a chance to watch The Prom, starring Meryl Streep, followed by Mamma Mia, starring Meryl Streep. She loves musicals. Okay, goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.